Hey, what's good, everybody? My name is Polo. Hope you're doing well. And today I am stepping outside of my comfort zone to check out one of your songs that you might have grown up with that I didn't listen to, okay? As someone who grew up primarily to hip hop and R&B. And today I am responding to my man Leon on Patreon, okay? Leon, you sent me a bunch of different requests, and I sampled the first 15 seconds of your first request, and it started to pull me in, so I figured I'd bring the audience on with me to listen to the rest, okay? And the request that we have today is Don Henley, The End of Innocence, okay? Now, I haven't heard this. You guys are about to go on that journey with me shortly. Before we get into it, if you like this type of content, do me a big favor and like the video. If you want to stay up to date whenever I post, subscribe and hit that notification bell. The engagement, the likes, the comments, and even the shares tells me you want me to put out more content like this, and I truly, truly, truly appreciate it. Let's go. That was enough to pull me in right there. Love the opening piano. And I want to say, well, I want to know where this, that's about where I stopped at, okay? I want to know where this goes from here, but I immediately started to feel something, all right?
Since Daddy had to fly, oh, but I know a place where we can go, still untouched by men. So watch the clouds roll by, the tall grass waves in the wind, and you can lay your head back on the ground, and let your hair fall all around you.
This is like a topic that I think about often, the end of innocence, okay? In terms of, I've spoke about it multiple times on my platform. We live in a digital age where a lot of kids are exposed to things before they should be exposed to them. In fact, a lot of us are, we see things that we would never see. Like if you grew up in the 80s or 90s or something like that, you know, I've seen horrific things on the internet. People get ran over by trains, and I see things shown on a loop that drives people to start to embellish hate, you know, and they think that it's happening right there in their neighborhood. And it just, it's a psyop that has affected society that really saddens me sometimes, you know, as someone who is just old enough to remember a time before we saw things on our phones on a loop, and sort of shaped the way we look at the world when it may not be reality, and it may even take away your innocence, you know. So that's I'll keep that there. I could go a lot deeper with that, but that's not what this video is about. But the title of the song made me think of that, you know. Let's go again. Let's rewind here a little bit.
This is the end of the innocence. skies. Now those skies are threatening. They're beating plowshares into swords for this title man that we elected king. Armchair warriors often fail, and we've been poisoned by these fairy tales. The lawyers clean up all details since Daddy had to lie. Oh, but I know a place where we can go and wash away this sin. Sit and watch the clouds roll by, the tall grass waves in the wind. Just lay your head back on the ground and let your hair spill all around me. Offer up your best defense. This is the end. This is the end of the innocence.
I love how the chorus is just the piano, but the piano speaks more than words ever could in this specific song. It's one of the things that pulled me in just within the first few seconds.
This is the end. This is the end of the innocence.
Oh man.
Who knows how long this will last? Now we've come so far, so fast. But somewhere back there in the dust, that same small town in each of us.
I don't know if he's making this as a coming of age song, meaning for adolescents, things of that nature, or if he's also talking about adults. For me, I listen to songs and I make them mean what I want them to mean in a selfish way. So it's not just kids I relate this to, it's also adults, right? Because I've seen adults of my age succumb to the same thing kids are coming to. That gives you an idea of how powerful the tech we have is today. Even I, to a certain degree, have somewhat of an addiction to my phone, and I always remind myself that a lot of the things I see, we have access to places and thousands of miles away, and we and that it's not happening where you are. Okay, the horrible things happen all over the world at every second of the day. Okay, but it's usually not as bad as we think it is in most cases, in my opinion.
I need to remember this. So baby, give me just one kiss. Let me take a long last look before we say goodbye. Just lay your head back on the ground. Let your hair fall all around me. Offer up your best defense. This is the end. This is the end of the innocence.
Not blowing me away with his vocals. They're good, they're great. But I think things that shine on this song is definitely the piano, the bass, and the songwriting itself within this record that I enjoy the most, from the Peanut Gallery. I don't even know if that's a bass. That might be something else. Mhm. I always struggle whether or not I want to put this on Patreon or on YouTube because the eclectic music that I tend to enjoy a lot of times, is not something for the masses. It may not get a lot of views, and YouTube kind of punishes you when you don't get a lot of views. But a lot of people who subscribe to my Patreon, they are music lovers, okay? And they don't just fall for the commercial stuff, which I am a hybrid. I like commercial music. I'm not dogging it, but my favorite tends to not be the most commercial music. Since I was like 16, I like the music that's heartfelt. If this was a single, this would have been a heartfelt single done right in a commercial way. You know what I mean? Like if it was, I don't know if it was a single, but I like it, and I like the messaging. I like the writing, and yeah, if I had to rate it on how much I enjoyed the song, I would give it 7.5, 8ish, 7.5, 8ish out of 10. Worth a repeat, worth playing over and over again, and I enjoyed it. This might be the second or third Don Henley track that I've reacted to. So if you're a fan, do let me know what else I should check out. But I enjoyed it. Excuse me. Reading the comments here. It says 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s were the end of the Innocence. This is pre-internet era, so they're talking about the same thing I am. Well, pre-social media. Okay. Takes me back to the better days. Flying kites, Kmart's, cookouts, camping, healthy family, lightning bugs. We used to capture lightning bugs, and then I put them in my bedroom and watch them light as I went to sleep when I was a kid. I gotta do that with my son. I forgot about that. That was a great reminder. And endless youth. And the way I'm raising my son, is the same way. He won't get social media or a smartphone till he's 18, so he can develop a personality and he can learn to be bored, learn to sit with himself in silence, things of that nature. Sometimes I feel like a bad parent, because it seems to be I'm in the minority in terms of raising my kid that way, but I see the detriments, not judging anyone who's doing it, because I almost gave in on his birthday this year and got him a phone, a smartphone, but he wouldn't be allowed on any smart apps. But still, I just want him to experience the childhood that the kids from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s grew up with. And I think that made better human beings personally. That's just me though. But I love the song. Shout out to the Patreon supporter that sent in the request for this one. If you guys want to support the channel, most of these music reactions are not monetized, so you can buy a coffee, send a Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal, or join the Patreon to help keep the channel going. That really helps me out a lot and allows me to continue to show my love for music and do these reactions, because again, most of the views that you see on these videos, that goes straight back to the artist, as it should. I guess, I don't have a dog in that fight. But thank you for all my Patreon supporters and people who want to keep this channel going. Thank you. I like this request. This is something that I would listen to again and be interested in checking out more. I like this better than the first Don Henley song that I reacted to. Actually, this is probably the best one so far because it's the most meaningful, and he had a great piano. Great melody with the chords or whatever. I don't speak music shop, but yeah, you guys will know. I don't know if this will be on Patreon or on YouTube. We'll see. But don't forget to like, subscribe, share with music lovers. Leave it in the comments of who I should check out next. All right. Peace and love.
Yeah! Look what I have created!